I'm Michael Abia Sackey, and I'm the art director for Framer and Woman at War. With my experience with the students, and I would say it was interesting. Why do I say it was interesting? I learned certain things when it comes to their attitudes towards the work. I remember there was a time I had to ask them to excuse me to set up, and unfortunately there was this girl who had a boyfriend, and she got pissed off because she thought I was shouting at them. And, and when you're on production and the pressure is so much, you can't help it than to be wild at certain times. And she got pissed off. She spoke to me in a certain manner, but at a point I had to come back to myself and remember that I'm dealing with students. These are students who are upcoming in the industry. So that was a bit of experience that I had to face with them. And there were other times where I had to, when it comes to continuity with props and all of that, when they are acting, I had to go and talk to them that, look, you have to hold this way. We must remember to do this way and all of that. Yeah. My memorable experience on a set of Framer, I would say it delves into my field as an art director when it comes to the setup. This was a shoot that had no script. Nartey planned to do it that way. He actually intentionally did it that way for them to learn out of that in case you miss situations like that. And also when it happened that way, mostly as an art director, when you are coming to set up, we have script, and out of the script it makes it a bit easier for you to be able to make some breakdowns and think through it and have a general idea into details also of what you have to do. But this is where Nartey sat me down and was like, this is a story, like we just narrated it, we had to narrate it, and we ended up going to the location. Now, this location had nothing. It was an interior, an empty space. It was a total empty space that I had to deal with. And the interesting part of it is, this is a character that I felt was me. Because in the film with Kumi Guitar is a character who is an artist and also an instrumentalist. And apparently, I'm just like that character. And so as an art director, when you're doing the set decoration, you've got to put yourself into the world of the character before you're able to come out with a setup. When it gets to the set decoration aspect, before you can be able to set up, you are not just setting up, but you are creating a setup that fits into the character's world. And before you're able to do that, you have to fix yourself in the world of the character. And this is a situation where the character ended up having certain qualities that I possess, which is he's an artist and he's also a musician, an instrumentalist, and that's who I am. So I found it very interesting. In fact, I was more sentimental when I started setting up the room, because almost all the artworks that you see in there, mostly we go out to talk to artists and get their artworks to make setups and all of that. This is the situation where I'm an artist, so I had to flood the whole place with my artwork. And it wasn't just about fixing the artworks. It has to speak, it has to have meanings. And the whole story centered around the interior, which is Kumi Guitar's room. And so I had to tell a story with the setup. So when you get into the room, you realize there's a painting of a guitar and an instrument beside it. Once you see that painting, you get to know that no, you are in the room of an artist who also loves music. You could find a painting of the sea as an abstract work, which depicts love, which depicts excitement with the sea and all of that. So there's love, there's relationship in the story. There are dangers, and you can find there's one painting I love so much. I had to make that setup purposely because I knew that will fit it. Well, especially when Framer entered the room and was about to expose the news about her pregnancy to Kumi Guitar. You could find a painting. Immediately she got in there, there's a setup of Kumi Guitar behind his gadgets, writing music with a painting which I call it upside down. That's an abstract. I term it as upside down. And upside down, when you see that painting, is a lady, is a face of a woman and a man. And the man upside down. So it means that no, there's something going to turn the story all around, and there's a danger about to be exposed. So You know, the painting spoke a lot. When Frema was had the blood and was entering into the washroom, you could find a painting which I call it danger, of a woman who looks superstitious, like a witch kind of danger. So everything had meaning. The setup in there, everything had meaning, and I found it very interesting. That's one of the interesting experience I can say I have had in Frema. Working with Nartey has always been fascinating. I would say that this is not my first time apparently working with Nartey. I've been working with Nartey for almost 7 to 8 years, and Nartey is one director I would say understands me deeply than any other director. I'm not despising the fact that maybe other directors don't understand the field of work, but I'm looking at relationship-wise. Nartey, I'm more clicked to Nartey than all other directors. Working with Nartey, there are certain things I don't have to explain further, and there are certain things he doesn't have to explain further to me. It's like we understand each other so well, and Nartey makes the work so easier for you and makes it so simple for you. Working with Nartey, I would say I've never had any issue. I've had the best of time, and as he's a very creative person. There were times, even costume. Art direction is not just about the setting. It deals with the makeup, it deals with the costume. There were times I had to chip in when it comes to the makeup, and makeup also the special effects, especially Frema with the special effect makeup. I had to talk to the makeup when he goes wrong somewhere with the aging of the landlord and all of that. But when it comes to the costume, Nartey also even helped a lot when it comes to costume. In the costume aspect, we're dealing with kids. Sorry to say, we had matured people as students, part of them. We had others who were kids, not that mature, and also this is a school, this is an academy, and Nartey we had to improvise for them to bring their own costumes. So the work was not that simple or easy for you to handle. So Nartey chipped in a lot when it comes to costume, because whilst I have to be focusing on the setup and also having other focus on the makeup and all of that, Nartey was able to handle part of the costumes when there's a bit of difficulties somewhere. And I would say Nartey is also an art director. Forgive me, but it's the fact, because that's why I always say that working with Nartey, it's the best moment. Anytime I work with Nartey, I learn new things. Trust me, new things. EN Academy. I can't stop smiling, or I can't stop laughing when I mention EN Academy. EN Academy, trust me, is the second Hollywood in Ghana. Not just Hollywood, but EN Academy is one of the best film universities you can ever find in Ghana. You are not seeing it now, but we have seen it. So I would say that watch out, because trust me, EN Academy today, as we see it, from how it has started and where it has gotten to, the academy has a lot of things to release out there to the world. And watch out, because EN Academy is going to be very big, and it is already big because it has already started big, and you can see it for yourself. There's a lot of projects just within 2 months. Trust me, just within 2 months. People take just a month to shoot a feature film, and you'll be surprised. I'm telling you, these feature films you are seeing today, just a feature film, one feature film, we can at times we are able to just use 1 week to shoot just one feature film, and you wouldn't get the pressure that we had to involve in. The pressure and all of that. EN Academy has a great future. Besides art direction, I'm a 3D designer. I do interior decorations, interior designs. I'm a graphic designer, and I'm an instrumentalist, as I said. I'm a guitarist, and I do paintings. I paint abstracts, all sort of paintings, portraits, yeah, and that's it. Beside that direction, I'm an artist as a whole, yeah.
Eddie, we move. Make them say, them say, your man, them say,